Thank you, Frédéric. Good afternoon to all of you, and thank you for being with us today, this afternoon. I wish to express a special gratitude to Frédéric and Swandai from PACT for Impact for having organized that meeting today in preparation of what we are trying to achieve in New York within the United Nations. I would first like to highlight and remind what the social and solidarity economy, the SSE, is experiencing over the last few months in terms of visibility and political importance. In December 2021, the European Commission adopted a new action plan on the social economy. With this action plan, the Commission improved the recognition of the SSE and put forward concrete measures to help mobilize its full potential. In June 2022, the OECD adopted a recommendation on social and solidarity economy and social innovation. And I thank also Antonella Noia for explaining later the scope and the ambitions of that very important initiative. In June 2022, also, the International Labour Conference has achieved a major milestone through the adoption of a resolution and specific conclusions on SSE. These conclusions, they recognize the distinctive role that the SSE can play in achieving sustainable development, social justice, decent work, and also improved living standards for all. These conclusions are an important act, a point of reference across the multilateral system, in particular in terms of universal definition of the SSE, which is one of the main achievements and success of these negotiations in Geneva. In short, there is a clear international momentum in favor of the SSE, and only one piece of the puzzle is missing, a United Nations resolution for the SSE. The French Ministry of Economy and Finance is extremely supportive of that objective, and we have been working closely with our colleagues from the Ministry for Europe and Foreign Affairs to push forward this initiative. We are all fully on board, and I would say the French team is ready to support the next steps in New York, together with the like-minded countries, the dear friends of the SSE. Why is it important to have a UN resolution on SSE? The SSE has an enormous potential to answer the global challenges we are facing at a time of profound transformation to our world. France strongly believes that the combination of the SSE principles, values, and practices is a driver of economic and social progress and resilience in convergence with a significant number of UN sustainable goals. A UN resolution would clearly underline to what extent SSE is a modern and appropriate response to the main economic, social, and environmental challenges of the time. More importantly, it would set up a framework for its universal recognition and promotion. Indeed, such a resolution would further pave the way to UN and governments' policies, appropriate policies in favor of the SSE. It will help and encourage the development of an enabling environment. This includes access to finance and funding, skills and education, business support through, for instance, public procurement, and visibility. From the French perspective, we hope that a UN resolution would further support the convergence of SSE national legal frameworks and therefore support the promotion of a common understanding for the mutual recognitions of SSE entities and enterprises. Indeed, to date, these entities, these enterprises are far too much confined within their national borders, and we believe there is room for opening up and promote good solutions invented locally at the broader level through cross-border initiatives. What remains to be done? A lot of work remains to be done, but a lot has been done already. Here, I would like to underline the tremendous efforts made by the UN Interagency Task Force on the SSE, headed by Mr. Vic van Vuren. The UN Task Force has provided a draft text of the resolution. And thanks to the great coordination done by PACT for Impact, we are now about to agree on a version supported by several governments. Once the draft resolution is fully agreed by its state sponsors, it will be tabled at the United Nations as soon as possible through the relevant procedure and protocol with the support of the relevant permanent missions in New York. I personally hope that this can be done this year in 2022 in order to benefit from the undergoing international momentum we are still experiencing. So I thank you again for your presence today and your participation. Without further ado, I hand back the meeting to Frédéric. Merci beaucoup.